Now all I need is a gold-plated statue of myself. No, nobody wants to see that. Hey everybody, I'm Geno Reynolds from The Real Geno, and welcome to the 2016 Opie Awards nominee special. Before I begin, I'd like to explain how the Opie Awards work. Just like any other awards show, I have different categories: Best Actor, Actress, Movie, all that stuff, but I also threw in some categories such as Best Anti-Hero, Best Good Guy, Bad Guy, Best Superhero Movie, and some others. Unlike a lot of award shows, every movie that I saw this year gets a fair shake, and I saw a lot of movies. I try to find the good and bad in everything. There could be a great movie that has a glaring problem. I used to do worst actor and worst actress. I kind of got out of that game. Um, but there are some bad movies out there that, have good characters in them or something like that. And I like to, show some respect to that stuff. That if your movie's bad, but you have this amazing character, I'm going to reward that. The Opies allow me to find the diamonds in the rough. I try to give everything a fair shake. I mean, there's some movies that, had no chance to make a best movie list and vice versa to the worst movie list. But I try to give every movie a fair shake. So you're going to see nominees on some of my categories that, say the Academy Awards in no way would ever pick. These picks are my choices. They're my personal feelings. Not everyone's going to agree with them, and that's okay. That's the great thing about movies, is that we all have our own preferences. And if you love something that I didn't like, or I didn't like something that you like, you know what? That's cool with me. I'm actually happy when someone can enjoy something that I didn't enjoy, because then we can talk about it. And, you can say, well, this is why I thought it was great. There's some movies that you can't defend, like you're going to find out with some of our worst movie nominees. But for the most part, most of the movies that are out there, some people are going to enjoy while others don't, and that's okay. Without further ado, here we go. Here are the nominees for Best Actor of 2016. First up, Chris Pine for Hell or High Water, Casey Affleck for Manchester by the Sea, Denzel Washington for Fences, Viggo Mortensen for Captain Fantastic, and Bryan Cranston for The Infiltrator. For Best Actress, first up is Gillian Jacobs for Don't Think Twice, Amy Adams for Arrival, Jessica Chastain for Miss Sloane, Emma Stone for La La Land, and Viola Davis for Fences. For Best Supporting Actor, first up is John Goodman for 10 Cloverfield Lane, Ben Foster for Hell or High Water, Jeff Bridges for Hell or High Water, Mahershala Ali for Moonlight, and Michael Shannon for Nocturnal Animals. For Best Supporting Actress, Helen Mirren for Eye in the Sky, Angourie Rice The Nice Guys, Haley Bennett The Magnificent Seven, Naomi Harris Moonlight, and Alison Sudol from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I'm not biased at all. For Best Animated Movie, Kung Fu Panda 3, Zootopia, Kubo and the Two Strings, Finding Dory, and Moana. For Best Superhero Movie, the nominees are Deadpool, Captain America Civil War, Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad, and Doctor Strange. For Best Horror Thriller Movie, 10 Cloverfield Lane, The Conjuring 2, Lights Out, Don't Breathe, and Nocturnal Animals. Now, a disclaimer for Best Romantic Movie of the Year. To put it lightly, the romance movies of 2016 sucked. So I had to go a little bit out of the box for this category. So your nominees are Deadpool. It did come out Valentine's weekend after all. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, A Hologram for the King, a movie starring Tom Hanks that not a lot of people saw, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and La La Land. For Best Action Movie, once again, Deadpool, Hardcore Henry, Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, and Rogue One, a Star Wars story. For Funniest Movie of the Year, once again, Deadpool, Central Intelligence, Hunt for the Wilder People, Bad Moms, and Sausage Party. For Biggest Surprise of the Year, this is the movie that I thought was going to be awful or I just wasn't sure of, and ended up being really entertaining or even really good. First up is Hardcore Henry. Next is The Legend of Tarzan, Lights Out, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and Miss Sloane. Next up is Biggest Letdown. This is the movie that I expected to be really good or at least very entertaining, and it ended up disappointing me big time. First up is 999, London Has Fallen, Jason Bourne, X-Men Apocalypse, and Assassin's Creed. Next up is Best Good Guy. Now, this doesn't have to be a superhero per se, though there are some on this list. This is just someone that's a good guy in a movie. First up is Spider-Man from Captain America Civil War. Next is Dr. Stephen Strange from Doctor Strange. Then Kubo from Kubo and the Two Strings. K2SO from Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. And Robert Mazer from The Infiltrator. Next up is an anti-hero. This is that good guy that's kind of not really a good guy, but he's still doing good things. First up is Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad, Batman from Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, Deadpool, Wade Wilson from Deadpool, Deadshot from Suicide Squad, and Christian Wolf from The Accountant. Next up is Best Bad Guy, and this one's self-explanatory. It's the bad guy in any movie. First up, Douche from Sausage Party, the blind man from Don't Breathe, that dude still gives me nightmares, Mr. Barron from Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, Raymond Cobb from The Birth of a Nation, and Ray Marcus from Nocturnal Animals. Next up is the worst of the worst. First nominee, Norm of the North. Next is The Choice, Gods of Egypt, 9 Lives, and 50 Shades of Black. Lastly is the best movie of the year. And like I said, these are my opinions, but you know, for 2016, there were a lot of awful movies, but there was also a lot of good ones. And first up is Zootopia. Next is Sing Street, Captain America Civil War, Hunt for the Wilder People, Hell or High Water, Kubo and the Two Strings, Arrival, Manchester by the Sea, Nocturnal Animals, and La La Land. So there you have it, the list of nominees for the Opie Awards for 2016. What did you think of it? Do you think I missed something? Do you think something else should have been on the list? Do you think something shouldn't have been on the list? Let me know what you think below down in the comments section. Now I have a list of categories that I got to decide what I think is the best of the year. And once again, this is my opinion, and I understand if you don't agree with it. And that's kind of the fun of movies, is that, you know, we all have our own personal preferences, and what I like, you might not like, or whatever. I feel my job as a movie critic is to, you know, just look at a movie, find the goods and bads, give you the info, and you make up your own mind. You know, I'm not going to try to steer you too much that you must see this movie. Now, granted, there are movies like that, and there are movies I would say avoid like the plague, but really, I want people to make their own decisions on movies. My list is just going to give you some ideas of what I thought was good and what was bad and what you might enjoy. Coming soon are the results, and like I said, feel free to comment on the nominees below, give this video a like, and subscribe to The Real Geno YouTube channel. Until next time, I'm Geno Reynolds from The Real Geno.